HowExpert! Top 10 fish keeping tips and lessons. Number 1. Pay close attention to tank size. The very first thing you need when starting your journey as a freshwater fish keeper is a tank. And that tank will decide many things. Most importantly, it will determine what kind and how many fish you can keep in said tank. The consensus is that the minimum size for a fish tank is 5 gallons, since any smaller will be cramped for even small fish like chili rasboras. And it is more difficult to keep the water safe and clean enough to keep your fish healthy. Generally, the bigger the tank, the easier it is to take care of and the more fun and freedom you can have when picking out your fish. Number 2. Make sure to cycle the tank before putting any fish in the water. Cycling the tank refers to establishing the nitrogen cycle in your aquarium to make it safe for fish. Fish naturally produce ammonia, which is toxic to them, and without nitrifying bacteria in your tank, it would be necessary to replace the water daily to avoid getting them sick from ammonia poisoning. By setting up your tank without fish and adding a daily source of ammonia to the water, pure ammonia or fish food are great ways to do so, you can encourage the nitrogen cycle to start. This should take about 6 weeks, and then a cycle of transformation from ammonia into nitrite, then nitrite into nitrate, will start. The last of the 3, nitrate, is only toxic to fish in large amounts. This keeps your water safe for fish and reduces the need to do water changes from daily to weekly to keep nitrates low enough. Number 3. Buy the basic equipment necessary for keeping fish. Other than a tank, necessary items include a filter, an aquarium test kit, water conditioner, a fish net, a glass scraper, a gravel vacuum, and a food-safe bucket. The aquarium test kit is essential to monitor the parameters of your tank, which includes the levels of ammonia, nitrites, nitrates, water hardness, and pH. This will help you determine if your water is suitable for the kind of fish you want to keep, and help you figure out your water change schedule. The other items in the list will help you maintain the cleanliness of your tank so that the water and tank glass will stay clean and clear. It will also keep ammonia from spiking, so you and your fish can enjoy your aquarium to the fullest. Number 4. Do research on the specific care requirements for the fish you're going to get. There are many different and beautiful freshwater fish species that you can find in even chain pet stores now, and each of them have different needs. Those needs can range from basic needs such as tank size, water temperature, water hardness, flow, and pH, to as complicated as special feeding requirements, enrichment requirements, and specific environmental needs, such as small caves or hiding spots. If you want your fish to live their full lifespan, you need to make sure you have everything you need to make your fish comfortable and stress-free in their environment. If you want more than one species in one tank, be sure that they can live in the same parameters. There are many aquatic species that can live together in the same tank because they have similar needs. For instance, harlequin rasboras or zebra danios make excellent tank mates for neon tetras. Just make sure your tank is big enough to house multiple fish safely, or it can become overstocked. Keep in mind any natural aggressiveness or size disparity in certain species as well, since fights can result in extreme stress and hiding fish. The website fishtankadvisor.com is an excellent resource for finding all kinds of information on fish keeping in general. Number 6. Buy the right filter for your tank. The kind of filter you want depends on your tank size and the water flow requirements for the fish in your tank. For low flow, sponge filters are a very good choice since they only need a simple setup of some airline tubing and an air pump, and you can wash and reuse the sponge for years. For higher flow, a hang-on back filter is the ideal choice for a beginner. But keep in mind that the filter media does not need to be changed monthly or be replaced with specific media from a certain brand, as most filter companies will claim. In fact, replacing filter media so often can be harmful, since a large portion of the nitrifying bacteria will grow there. You just need to rinse it when you do your water changes, and reuse it for several months more, and replace it with filter media such as filter floss or sponges. Number 7. Make sure to clean your tank regularly. It is necessary to change the water in your tank on a regular basis, at least once a week for cycled tanks without plants. But the best way to know how often is to monitor the water parameters closely and change about 40% of the water when nitrates get over 20 parts per million. For smaller tanks, you may need to do water changes more often, since fluctuations in ammonia or spread of diseases happen more quickly and impact your fish more immediately. Use a gravel vac to clean up detritus from the bottom of the tank and transfer the dirty water into a bucket. Make sure to add water conditioner to replacement water, as it gets rid of the chlorine in it that will kill the healthy bacteria in your tank. The glass scraper will help you to get rid of the algae that grows on the walls of your tank and help you to be able to see your fish properly. Number 8. Consider decorations like driftwood and rocks for your tank. Decorations from the pet store are fine. However, if you live by a river, lake, or ocean, driftwood and rocks are free alternatives that would require just a little treatment to be safe to use in your aquarium. Just clean and boil the wood to remove harmful bacteria and parasites, soak it until it sinks in water, and carefully add it to your tank. Be cautious about boiling rocks to clean them since they can sometimes burst. It's better to clean them by dipping them in hydrogen peroxide and rinsing them thoroughly before adding them to your aquarium. Number 9. Consider including aquatic plants in your tank. There are many freshwater aquatic plants that require very little in order to grow, and they will help manage the parameters in your tank since they use ammonia and nitrates to grow. This can reduce the number of water changes you need to do to keep your water safe. They also provide natural cover for your fish and add more surface area for healthy bacteria to grow on. Java moss is a great choice for beginners since it can grow even with a regular LED aquarium light as long as the light is kept on for enough time. More advanced plants will likely need a specialized light, such as a full spectrum light to mimic sunlight. Number 10. Remember the invertebrates. Invertebrates are a very underrated addition to any tank and an excellent cleanup crew that makes maintaining your tank easier. There are many interesting types of snails and even shrimp that can help clean up leftover food and algae in your tank and can add a surprising pop of color to movement in your aquarium. Shrimp are especially overlooked since it isn't very well known that freshwater species exist and are even available in some chain pet stores. Just be careful to research their needs and make sure their tank mates won't eat them. Additionally, invertebrates can be kept in smaller tanks if they're the only species in there. So if you don't have enough space for a larger tank, they can safely be kept in tanks as small as 2 gallons if you pay close attention to the water parameters.